Intro. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grossi.
I'm Jade Grossi.
And today we are going to be breaking down all 4 games that will be featured in the NFL Divisional Round of the playoffs. Last week, Jade and I were both tied at 4-2.
Woo, that's exciting.
Keeping my 20-point lead, 178, 83, and 1 on the season, while Jade is 158, 103, and 1 on the season. So, solid. So, we only have 7 more games in the entire season. And so, with that being said, let's break it down. Starting off with the Saturday afternoon game.
Breaking it down. Break.
You got the LA Rams taking on the Green Bay mother-loving Packers. The Rams defeating the Seattle Seahawks last week, and it was ugly. Jared Goff basically doesn't have a thumb, and he still was able to beat Russell Wilson. Well, that's actually a lie. Able to beat their defense, and really wasn't even Jared Goff. It was more Cam Akers. There's a lot of false statements in this past sentence. However, their defense made Russell Wilson's life miserable, racking up sacks, a pick 6, and just chasing the poor little man down. The Green Bay Packers obviously had a bye this past week, and so they were able to rest up, and they're looking pretty darn healthy. They went and got Jared Valdir back, even though he was on the Colts practice squad, and they're like, hey, Valdir, why don't you come win a Super Bowl? And he was like, okay. And so he's coming now, and at least he provides some depth. However, Aaron Donald's a big, scary man. Jalen Ramsey will go one-on-one with Devontae Adams, one of the best corners in the league, versus one of, if not the best wide receiver in the league. It's going to come down to the Packers offense versus that Rams defense. Now, in addition, the Rams do have a power running game. Cam Akers been looking pretty darn good. Not too shabby. It looks like Jared Goff is going to be starting a couple weeks fresh out of surgery. That's where the Packers could take advantage. It's just going to be the Rams defense who's going to be a problem. I think this is going to be a really close game. However, because it's at Lambeau and because it's the Green Bay mother-loving Packers, it's not like I'm going to pick against them. Packers. Well, it's been a good season, folks.
No!
Flocking into our next game, you got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Ravens able to take down the Tennessee Titans, holding Derrick Henry to just 40 yards last week in an impressive defensive showing, while Lamar Jackson ran all over the Titans, getting some major yardage, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. Now, the Ravens have been bolstered by an amazing run game as of late, and it just so happens that the Bills are not really so great at defending the run. The Bills were able to sneak away with a victory against the Indianapolis Colts, even though there was a terrible fumble that, call was just bad. Referees were just bad. But the Bills were able to pull away with the W. So they'll host another home game against the Ravens. This should be a really, really good matchup. The Bills have a high-flying offense, and they should be able to score lots and lots of points on the Ravens. And the Ravens, as we already talked about, might utilize that lack of a run defense that the Bills currently have. I feel like the Ravens might play spoiler. I feel like the Ravens have a good chance of beating the Bills, but I've been on the Bills bandwagon all year, so we ain't getting off until we're going through a table. Bills.
I'm going with the Bills.
Crapping our way into our next game. Wait a minute. The Browns won a playoff game? For the first time in forever. Pretty sure it's been like over 2 decades. You got the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, taking on the Chiefs, guys. This is like you had the high of the high. You defeated a division rival. Destroyed them, really. 28-0 in the first quarter. It was just pure destruction. Yeah, they came back, but you really were in control the entire time. And your prize now is to go face a well-rested Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs team.
You had a good run.
Yeah, this might hurt. Now, here's the thing. The Browns have a good run game, right? As demonstrated by Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb last week. Baker Mayfield played pretty well. Of course, that defense, while it did let up a lot of yards in the beginning, caused a lot of turnovers as well. The Chiefs, Yeah, they're like the best team in football. They're really darn good. Now, the only thing the Browns can hope for is that there's some potential rust on the gears of the Chiefs. However, I would not bet on that even in the slightest. The Chiefs are still posed to make another Super Bowl run, and the Browns may just be the next sacrificial lamb on their way to the throne. So, I'm sorry, Brownies. I believe in you. No, I don't. I want to, but I don't. It's a lack of faith. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Only on the History Channel into our next game, you got the 65-year-old Tom Brady taking on the 64-year-old Drew Brees in the Buccaneers versus the Saints. That's right, folks. It's an old home here in New Orleans as Tom Brady and Drew Brees most likely pay for the last time, as this is probably going to be after Drew Brees is going to hang it up after this season. One last time.
Wait, are they both going to retire?
No, Tom Brady's never going to retire because he consumes the blood of newborns.
Oh.
So,
all right.
It's high in iron.
Ew.
Vitamin E, actually, too. Yeah, don't get a lot of canker sores. Speaking of cooking, Tom Brady has been cooking. Been playing really darn well over this past month. The Buccaneers, obviously, were beat by the Saints twice already this year. The last time, they got blown out. Hoping for a different result here. The Buccaneers, I don't want to say put up the best showing, because they kind of didn't against the Washington football team. So I'm not, like, super impressed. The Saints, they struggled against the Bears, especially in the first half because they only scored 7 points, but they were able to put the Bears away. Again, not really much of an accomplishment, but they were able to do it, led by Alvin Kamara. I feel like the Saints just have the edge over on this one. It's going to be a really close game. I could see it going either way, but right now, I'm going to go with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. But I would not be surprised if the Buccaneers take it.
Saints?
So let us know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you got winning these divisional round matchups? And then we got the championship games, and then, of course, Le Super Bowl. Let us know what you think. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy, all social media you see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and, of course, YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi.
I'm Jade Grossi.
And as always, go Pack Go.